boys and girls, my name is Hotsasi and welcome back to a brand new season of Oxygen Not Included. And this will be the last season in the standard format because we have reached the last asteroid that we have not yet tackled yet. And we're going with this setup. It's a pretty tough asteroid from what I can see here, so to make my life a bit easier, I choose metal rich, geoactive, and that should help us a bit. So while we start, I can then tell you a bit more about the goal. Alright, well, we start out here on our new colony. You need a bit of water. We have that up there. So maybe we will need a ladder going up. And while I do all this digging, the usual preparation for the first build, I can tell you a bit of what my plans are for this series. So we have, in each series we have had a certain challenge, and we have done quite a few of those, but I think for this one it should be something involving with space travel, because that's something that not every of our playthrough has involved to that extent. So in this run I want to get all my duplicants off this asteroid, and that means we need quite a powerful space program, which we will need a solid foundation for that. So a lot of the things will basically be repeating things that we did in previous series. So we will probably not focus too much on that, but touch on the key points that we want to have. And once we have our water supply settled here, let's make it this way, then we can focus on some farming, and then on to resource gathering. It's time for an update, I think. So far we have been struggling with two things, calories and oxygen, which is understandable as the game is named Oxygen Not Included. So what we have here is a farm, or a farm setup, where we have a pipsqueak in there, so as soon as it grows up, hopefully it will start to plant trees so we can have a pip farm. Down here I made room because we got a hatch out of the printing pod, so we can have another farm here. And down here I have let out the setup for our first farm, which will be meal lice, but we can only plant them once we have the trees set up here. This water is going down. This is basically consumed by the research, which we have made decent progress. I would say about 50% through, and a bit for washing hands. Then, due to the lack of oxygen, I have set up this system here for oxygen production, which supplies us with enough oxygen. We only have 4 duplicants, so we are not consuming that much. But I assume before long the oxygen will be quite on the warm side, because if we have a look, we see it gets hot pretty quick outside of our base. That's why I have lined out the border with insulated tiles, and we can also see here we have a steam vent, I think, and down there we have copper. So good things, but I think we are not yet ready to tackle them. At this point, I think I can see the next steps, the way forward. We are quite a bit, few cycles ahead since the last time, but here on this side I have started to try set up something for our power, and up here we have a natural gas geyser, so that's probably easy to use to get us started. And then down here we have a hydrogen geyser that we can also harvest. However, if we are looking around here, it's rather toasty, so duplicants have a difficult time to work in those areas. And even here at the top of our base we can see it's heating up. I got one wheezewort out of the printing pot that we are putting to good use to cool things down here a bit, but I think first thing is we need a bit of power, and then we have to have a way to cool things down, because otherwise we will not be able to make progress. And probably we will need things from down here, because down there is the oil. We need the oil for the plastic, so we'll have to see how we can figure that one out. In the meantime, we have power. We have great power, and with great power comes great responsibility, so let's better not misuse it. We do have quite a bit more power than we are actually consuming. We have some small consumers here and there. I led a line here over to this side so we can have our base supplied with power from all sides. Down here we are scrubbing away a bit of the carbon dioxide as it gets a bit thick down here, and then we can also think about having a proper bathroom up here. And on the side it was always a bit of a balancing act, keeping up the morale of the duplicants, but I think with a bit decorations here and a mess hall, managed to get any morale issues under control. As we have here one operating dock, we can actually make use of that one and go further down here into the depths, because if we want to have cooling, and I think we will have cooling in this area, because we need the polluted water for the cooling fluent. So maybe let's have a bit of a tank here, kind of like this, and then this is not enough, or there's a bit more. Not sure if that fills up the tank, but one issue that we will have here is we need to cool the whole thing with aqua tuners, and for that we actually need steel, and for a steel setup we also need cooling. So this is a bit of a chicken egg problem, but we will get around it, I think. We'll find a solution. But I think first order here is seeing what's down below, because we also need a bit of plastic, so we need a bit of oil production going on, and with oil we can make petroleum, and out of that we can get more power out of the system. Here we are. We have still only 5 duplicants, but that's mainly because our food supply chain is not the best, and I think with only 5 we can keep them alive. We had 1 duplicant that starved to death, unfortunately. So keeping the numbers low for now should be a good thing. But I think we have made good progress. So good progress that I think we can call this episode done. We have a solid power setup. We're not using nearly enough power for the setup that we have, which is based off ethanol, which we get from distilling wood, and natural gas to supplant that. Here we have a natural gas geyser. We have also started a setup for cooling, which will become important soonish. And also did a bit of exploration. Here we have a copper volcano. There we have a hydrogen geyser. Down here we have another natural geyser. This I think is salt water. Then over on this side we have a cool steam vent. This here is infectious polluted steam vent, and here we have 2 oil wells, so we also have the oil there. Then up here I think that's a hot steam vent. So we have quite a few resources
that we can have, we can use, but I think the main problem here is the heat. If we zoom out, basically everything is on the reddish side, and the part where we can live in is growing warmer and warmer, and even in here we have nearly 30 degrees, so that will become a problem pretty soon with food supply. So for next time, focus there is cooling, and then moving on to steel. But that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.